Hey, it's another morning. What's up, YouTube? Last night we stayed at a Boondockers Welcome out in Lake City, Florida. And it's a really nice place. I think the guy said in his thing on Harvest Host it was 5 acres. So we got here before dark, which is a good thing because, and not too level. I mean, it's big, it's a huge spot, but we're kind of down in the back, so I had to throw some blocks down, bring the back end up. But we're real close to Interstate 75, but it's quiet back here. There was almost a full moon last night. I come out to take, Riley out because she had to go pee at, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning because, who needs to sleep, right? So I take her out, and it was almost a full moon. It was almost like daylight out here. It was so bright with all the moon coming through these trees. But anyhow, here's our spot. Oh, nope, that's Riley poop, and you don't need to look at that. But this is the area. Here's the camper. I'm not going to show you the guy's house or anything, which is right back there. But let me get this dog poop up real quick. All right, so I picked that up because I'm a nice guy. But he's actually got 3 spots here, so it's tight coming in. I mean, the driveway's a little snug. You're probably not going to get I wouldn't want to try to get I mean, you could get a 5th wheel in here. You can get a travel trailer in here if you wanted. I mean, you can just pull up and probably back in. It'd be a little tight getting out, but it's best for anybody in like a motorhome, probably, 30 some feet, 35 feet, you'd probably be all right. But other than that, it's on a little country road. Looks like there's horses across the street. I don't see any, but looks like a bit of a farm across the road. Oh yeah, looks like a barn dominium over there. Excuse me. Yeah, like a barn dominium, and I don't know. Man, here's the area. It's a nice area. Nice area. Definitely quiet. So that's where we stayed. We're heading out today. We'll be on the road here in a little while, and going to some place that we were going to go to Chick-fil-A for breakfast, but it's Sunday, so we ain't going there. But we're heading someplace where I wanted to go, so hang on and see where we end up this afternoon. On the right, see it?
Oh, that one way over there? The one that somebody's already hit.
I'm sure it's up there.
Good.
Bro, you got the trash in there, right?
What?
The bag of trash sitting in the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't touch it. It's still sitting in the door. Did you find gas already?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Circle K is cheapest. A few minutes up the street.
Let's go this way if you're going. I thought it didn't open till noon, period.
I think I turned in here, I guess.
This area is for parking for
Museum,
using all
visitors only. Yeah, well, that's us.
open.
Okay.
I guess it is a sidewalk, though. If they trip over my steps, I can't help them. I don't care.
You care. I don't think it's going to be ridiculously busy, but I can keep
Taking
it.
both spots.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're out here at Camp Blanding, and apparently I forgot to push the start button for my record, so I got this new DJI Osmo 3 creator content, and I'm still trying to figure out how to work it. Hopefully this microphone is still on. Let me double check that real quick. It's on. It looks like it's on. All right, spin you around here. 43rd Infantry Division Memorial. Everybody knows what this is. Sherman tank. We produced a lot of these. We produced so many of these it wasn't even funny. We beat the Germans by sheer numbers because they were not. Their guns would punch right through a Sherman tank. There's a M4A A1W. Okay, so this is the W version. They have many different versions of these, so. But yeah, that's a Sherman. I think they're cool. I like tanks anyhow. I mean, who don't like tanks? Come on. There's the phone box on the back. Nobody's home. But yeah, got a little leak back there. Got to get that fixed. But yeah, that's a Sherman in all of its glory. Or I'm sorry, maybe Fury. We could write Fury on the front of that. If you haven't seen it, good movie. Over here, we got a half-track M3 carrier personnel type. So yeah, there's a nice half-track. Can I see inside? Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, that's a half-track. Yeah, I thought these were cool too. Pop up over the top. This one had the roller on the front of it. There's another one over here, another half track. This one is different than that one, that's for sure. This one obviously had something on the back of it. I don't know what they had for that for. Almost looks like rocket launchers of some sort. And this one has a huge winch on the front of it. The other one had the roller on it. So that's pretty cool. I got some look inside there. There's another plaque over here. 63rd Infantry Division. Some artillery. 66th Infantry Division. Yeah, it's a pretty cool cat they had there. Some more artillery here. Now this thing here, I think is pretty cool. It's probably an ammo carrier. Nothing's restored, no motor. You know, she's in rough shape, but looks like not a lot of room for a big guy like me. But yeah, more than likely that's a ammo carrier of some sort with the tracks. You can probably take it anywhere. So we have 79th Infantry Division over here. All right. My dead mouse fell off. I'm glad I found that. I would have been mad. Let me see if I can fix that real quick. Hold on. Okay. Hopefully this microphone's working. It's lit up blue, so hopefully it's working. I got the dead mouse on there, so it doesn't. It's really windy out here today. They're calling for high winds, and we're actually, just in case I forgot to tell you, we're at Camp Blanding, Florida, which is right outside of Stark, S-T-R-K-E, Stark. I'm not from Florida, please forgive me. So we're going to walk over here to the rest of the outside stuff. Rain is coming. They said noon till about 2. So once the actual museum opens at noon, so I can go inside. But I'm gonna hit this outside stuff real quick, and then we'll go inside. So let's finish up outside. I got some landing craft over here, which are pretty cool. So take a look at this plane real quick. Okay, a Douglas C-47 Skytrain. Transport personnel and cargo. Towing gliders, dropping paratroopers during the invasion of Sicily, Burma, and France. She's a little worn, but it's here. All right, so this landing craft, many years ago in the town of Waldorf, where I spent most of my youth, they had a landing craft in front of an ice building. I guess they sold ice. And I always remember that thing being out there. And this is kind of what it looked like. A little different, but this is kind of what it looked like. One of the landing craft. Now, during World War II and the invasion of Normandy, these were all run by the Coast Guard, because those were the guys who could actually pilot the small boats. Actually, truck 2.5-ton amphibian called a duck. So yeah, they called these ducks. I always thought these things were wild. There's still some around. You can actually take rides on them. I guess some guys have bought them and restored them, and everything else. But these are, see if I can see inside a little bit, maybe. Yeah. Take a look inside. There you go. So yeah, that's a duck. She's got the wheels on it. Now in the back, there's a prop and a rudder. Obviously they're not quick. There's a winch on the back of this thing. So yeah, these things are pretty neat. I've always liked these things, these ducks. We got some other memorials out here to different infantry divisions. 36th Infantry Division, 31st Infantry Division, Dixie Division, Double D, okay. 30th Infantry Division, Old Hickory. Now this one, I do recognize. This one, the blue and the gray, 29th Infantry Division. So if you've seen my video from D-Day with from Virginia, they were that's where the Bedford boys were, all that infantry division. Well, that would be the 1st Infantry, the big red one. And let's see what this last one is over here. Okay. Military Order of the World Wars. Liberty Road. Talking about all the different landing points. Utah Beach, Omaha Beach. All the invasions of World War II. Got one more up here. We'll go check this one out. Okay. Medal of Honor. So for those who have received the Medal of Honor. Oh, there's an Arnold Bjorklund. I know an Eric Bjorklund. I'm sure he doesn't subscribe to my channel, but that's okay. Let's see where they're... Here is the individuals of the 9 camp landing divisions who received the nation's highest military award, the Medal of Honor. Okay, so these were from the camp landing themselves. some artillery, some sandbags. What do we got? A gun, 3-inch M5 anti-tank. That's what that is. And hey, look at that. Medic! 3/4 ton 4x4 ambulance. Not very big. Not compared to the monstrosities we drive around today. Freightliners and F-550s and everything else. But yep, there you go. Got the red cross on it. In through the back doors. These windows are, let's see if we can see inside. You might be able to see a little bit in there. Yeah, windows are a little cloudy, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this one doesn't run calls anymore. I think it's been retired. Another 1.5 ton truck, cargo truck. There's another half track with the winch on the front. Trying to see if it was for rockets or what they had on there. I don't know. Here's another gun. This would be a 75mm light artillery anti-tank. Correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't a 75mm used on the Sherman? I don't know. Here's another piece of artillery. That's a howitzer, 155mm howitzer, model 1918, the Schneider. Okay. Yeah, that'll ruin your day if you get hit by that. Okay, well, we got a few sprinkles starting. I do see a Jeep over there, so I'm going to get a picture of that Jeep, and then I'm going to see if I can get inside before this rain gets here. All right, they got a Jeep out here. Oh yeah, that's sweet too. That's pretty sweet. I like that. Looks like it's getting some restoration work done. Looks like it's normally covered up. It's got an exhaust pipe on there. So that might actually run. That might actually run. I have to laugh at this old building here. Many moons ago. This looks a lot like my reception when I went to Fort Leonard Wood. This looks like the reception barracks where we were housed for a while. Yeah, I did a very short stint in the Army. Other than that, yeah, all I did was paint rocks and rake leaves. Anyhow, here's the main entrance to Camp Blanding. And it's a joint training base now, so there's one over here. Oh, there's more across the street. So apparently there's more across the street, so I need to get my butt across the street real quick. So let's scoot across the street real quick. Watch for cars. We may have to head inside. Yeah, it's starting to rain. We'll be back. Okay. I'm sitting under the awning here. Hopefully it doesn't start pouring too bad. It's supposed to open noon to 4. It says sorry closed. It's not quite noon yet. So hopefully they open up here in a few minutes. Stand by.
So it's supposed to be $46.60, I guess.
That is Albert Blanding, who was, this post was named after, and the curator back there was just giving me some information on all of the training and the number of people that were here and the size of this base back then. It was huge. But we'll take a look around, get a few video clips for you. They did a ton of training here. But I'll probably throw some pictures in here for you, so stand by for some pictures. So according to this, during World War II, 378,000 German prisoners of war were incarcerated in the United States. POW camps were in 45 states. Camp Blanding was the main POW base where 4,000 prisoners were admitted, 1,200 of which were physically kept on Camp Blanding. The rest proceeded through Camp Blanding and were sent to one of 15 work camps in Florida. So, all right. It's still rumored that we had a POW camp close to where I lived. Haven't been able to find any fact of that. Somebody had said over on Stumpneck, maybe down in the Nanjamoy area, but I'm unable to verify any of that. But here's a part of what the camp probably would have looked like for the POWs. I have a section up on the 29th Infantry Division, which, if you haven't seen my other video on the National D-Day Memorial out in Bedford, Virginia, go watch that one. That's a really good one.
Of the 43rd Division Field Artillery National Guard. In February, we were federalized and ordered to leave Rhode Island for Camp Blanding, Stark, Florida. After what seemed like an endless train ride, our quarters did have central heating. This heating was a wood stove set up on a platform of cement.
Oh, look at that.
When stoked with scrap wood, the stove heated red hot very fast. Cooled very fast too.
I don't think they would miss it if I just, you know, kind of took it with me, maybe. Here's a section on engineers. Build bridges, blow stuff up. You know, cool stuff. Gives me flashbacks to Fort Leonard Wood, or Fort Lost in the Woods, as we like to call it. There you go. Donated by the Australian Army. Shown here, South Pacific Japanese soldier. He's checking out his rifle there. No, okay. Here comes the good stuff. There's a Mauser up top. Sturmgewehr. Machine pistol. Yeah. There's the grease gun, as they like to call it. Thompson submachine gun. M1 Garand. The BAR. M1 carbine, Lee Enfield, Steinmark submachine gun. Yeah, those are pretty cool. And of course, behind me we have the one on this one right here being German. Come around and see if we can see this one. And the other one is a Japanese machine gun, Japanese Type 96 machine gun. Hopefully that comes through. 508th Parachute Infantry Regiment. It's for the guys jumping out of perfectly good airplanes. So if you jump out of a perfectly good airplane, there you go. There's the M1 Garand, and they have a bunch of different bayonets used in different wars. The top one up there says World War II, the second one's shortened in World War II, the third one, World War II, and the next one's from Korea, and the last one down there is Korea and Vietnam. And then they have that one over there, 30 caliber sniper rifle. This was donated to Camp Blanding by Norman Dodge of Springfield, Missouri. It was left to him by his uncle, and he was a staff sergeant from Company L. And the flag is signed by 50 members of Company L 119th, including its company commander, 2 platoon leaders. At this point, it's unknown of the origin, city, date, and place of the signing of the flag, except somewhere in Germany. So they got it off of somebody and they all signed it. So pretty cool it ended up here. 1943 to 45 pattern German uniform. And they have a few pistols here. Bunch of there's a Walther P38 at the top. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, bazooka. Mess kit. This one right here is the deadly MG42. Yeah, Hitler's buzzsaw. Yeah, the MG42. Nasty machine gun there. Down below it is the Browning light machine gun. You think I can get that under my shirt? Take that with me. That's pretty cool. I'd like to have one of them. Okay, so the curator here has a book, and what is the book? Is this from just all the POW camps in the U.S.?
No. This is it here. This is the book that I was referring to.
Okay, and what is this book?
It is POW camps across America.
Prisoner of War Camps Across America. Okay, so he's got Maryland in here. So let me see what's in Maryland. He's got the page here, and it says, and this is right here in the book, so it's official. Nanjemoy, Charles County, Maryland, branch camp under Meade. See Smith Point. So yeah, Smith Point. Next one down, Smith Point, Charles County, Maryland. See Nanjemoy. Okay, that's kind of funny. All right, so somewhere down there around Smith Point, apparently there was a POW camp for
It's a branch camp, so
Germans during World War II. See, I knew I wasn't crazy. It was true. So yeah, that's where they were. They were down Smith Point, down there in Nanjemoy. Now, you got to think this would be 42, 43.
Um, Probably 43. Maybe late 42.
Maybe late 42, 1943. So they would have been down around Smith Point. Now you got to think, back in the 42, 43 down in Charles County. I mean, look, what's in Nanjemoy now? Anybody who lives down that way, you know what's down there. Ain't nothing down there. There was no paved roads. There was nothing. So the only thing they had was the Potomac River. They were probably brought in by river and kept down there around Smith Point. And they could have got resupply probably from Indian Head or Stump Neck. So, yeah, see, we did have POWs in Charles County during World War II.
Now, the only reason you establish a sub-camp is because there was work there. So, Geneva Conventions, officers and NCOs are not required to work, but they could if they wish. Enlisted men are below NCO are required to work. So, the way this went was that the Department of Labor would look, you could file a petition, there's not enough manpower in this area, they're all serving in the Army or the Navy, whatever.
Right.
There's not enough manpower to do whatever labor is required for, primarily in that area, I would guess agricultural purposes.
Agricultural, tobacco. Tobacco was real big. We did have, there were some other farms down there, so.
So once you've, Labor Department does a survey and says, yeah, there's not enough men here. So then the Army would set up camps for labor purposes only.
Okay.
So this was not, again, it's a branch camp or a sub-camp. So it's not intended to be a primary housing area. It's there because there's some kind of work.
So there's some kind of work. So my guess would be tobacco. So if anybody knows what the POWs from Germany were doing down Smith Point during World War II, leave it in the comments below. So, all right, well, that's pretty cool.
So they actually got paid. PWs got paid 80 cents a day. They could make as much as $1.20 if they worked overtime.
Okay.
But they never got cash. Cash might facilitate an escape attempt. Although where are you going to go? But nevertheless, that
You ain't going anywhere down Nanjemoy.
Well, here in the United States, how are you? What are you? I'll tell you another story about that here in a minute. But anyway, they got script, and you may have seen down there by the diorama of the German Army camp, there was a display case. By the mannequin, there was a piece of script.
Okay, yeah.
So they had access to some sort of PX. They could buy saving supplies, writing supplies,
Right.
soft drinks, ice cream. They were allowed to buy one beer a day, and it was GI beer, so it was low alcohol content.
Right. So they don't get drunk and start causing problems.
So well, and the Germans hated it, but that was the only.
Yeah, it
beer
definitely
they
was
could
not
get.
good German beer. If you've had good German beer, you're like, okay, but we'll drink it because we're POWs. So.
So anyway, the War Department charged, if they were civilian employers, the War Department charged them $5 a day, and 80 cents goes to $1.20 goes to the PW. The rest of it was kept by the War Department to maintain the camps.
Okay.
So it was money for building maintenance, construction maintenance, and food for the PWs. So, and there was high emphasis. The camps submitted monthly labor reports, how many prisoners they had, how many man days of labor they had contracted. The prisoners got paid whether they worked or not, unless they refused to work.
Okay.
But there were some incidents of that. So the camp commander got a monthly performance review on how many labor days he got out of this camp.
Okay. Yeah. So, I guess if you're going to be here, you're going to work. It's either work or,
Well, if you refused to work, then you actually went to the equivalent to a stockade, and it was a bread and water diet.
Oh, I think I'll work.
Yeah, so there's some couple of funny stories here. This one is the guidon down there for the military police escort group that
Right.
managed the camps here at Camp Landing. And Collins, Lieutenant Colonel Collins, was the commander. He came in here, it's been about 5 years ago now, and he brought that guidon in and gave it to us. And I interviewed him. At the end of the interview, I asked him, any funny stories you can tell us about the compound? And he said, well, it's kind of strange, but I said, when we put prisoners in the stockade, we weighed them going in and weighed them coming out. They were on a bread and water diet. And they always gained weight. And we could never figure out how that happened.
Okay.
So a couple months later, former PW came in, a gentleman who's on the wall down there on the upper left side, Rupert Metroff. He came in and I told him that Colonel Collins had been here, and I said, here's the Colonel Collins on the bread and water diet. Prisoners
Right, and they
always
gain weight.
And Rupert just started to laugh, and I said, okay, Rupert, spill it. So the stockade building was on columns. So there was an open airspace, crawl space underneath
Okay.
the stockade building. And there were windows all the way around where the guards could look in and see what the prisoners were doing. The only place there was not a window was their latrine. So what the prisoners were doing is when it was chow time, they pulled up the floorboards in the stockade, crawled out under these, went down to the mess hall, had chow, came back, crawled back in, put the floorboards back. So the guards at one point figured out this was, thought this might be going on. So they came in and poured that white sugar sand all around, hoping to see footprints.
Right.
The prisoners stole a rake. They'd crawl out.
So they crawl out and rake the sand back, so the sand wasn't even messed up.
So, the old saying, you can lock them up, but they're going to find ways to get done.
Oh,
what they
so
wanna
they'd
get
sneak.
done.
So they'd sneak out and go get chow and go back to the prison camp. Okay.
Enjoy their bread and water, but
Right,
always
bread and
gain
water,
weight.
but they're still sneaking over to the chow hall to actually get something to eat. Okay, well that's pretty slick. All right, I'll give it to them. That sounds like some Hogan's Heroes stuff. So if you ever seen the show Hogan's Heroes, yeah, that sounds like some Hogan's Heroes stuff. All right, well, thank you very much for your time.
Most welcome.
Really appreciate it. So that was us here at Camp Blanding down here in Florida. So if you're ever in the area, come see Camp Blanding. It's definitely worth it. I'm going to go check the weather and see if I can catch the other side of the street since the rain came in. All right, over here on the other side, looks like I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna say an A10 intruder. That's gonna be my guess. That's what I'm sticking with. All right, further down, this a little bit newer stuff down here, but let's see what we have here. BRDM-2. Okay, armored personnel carrier. Oh, we got a tank? Yep, we all like tanks, right? Let's see what it is. Tank main battle. T-55A. Is that, T-55A. I'm thinking, is that Russian? Carrier personnel armored type 63. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What do we got here? 57 millimeter anti-aircraft gun. Yeah, that'll give you a bad day. All right, let's walk around the back side. Armored personnel carrier. Yeah, I'm sure it's welded shut, you know. Yeah, I realized looking at tanks that I'm way too big to be a tanker. I'm gonna have to assume this is amphibious because it's got some extra wheels under it, and look in the back. It's got a prop. Okay, so this is amphibious, no doubt, and it's got an extra set of wheels in the middle. All right, that's pretty neat. Yeah, she's dug in the back. Field artillery. Let's see here. Oh, look. Hey, look at that. What's that say? A6 Intruder. Yeah, I was right. Not even an Air Force guy. So let's check this one out. Oof. Howitzer. 8-inch, self-propelled. Man, that thing is, that thing's big. Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the bad end of that. We have another tank, the Patton. It says, if you can read that, Widowmaker. So I guess it's the Widowmaker tank, main battle, M60 Patton tank. All right, yeah, that's pretty cool. The antenna fell off, so guess I'll have to get that fixed. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Man, that thing is big. Wouldn't that look good sitting in my yard? I think it would look great sitting in my yard. Be better for work that I could drive it around town. Yeah, that'd be neat. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, over here, a Jeep, but not a Jeep. Utility truck. That is the Ford Kaiser, an AM General. So yeah, they all made one there in the beginning. Yeah, those are cool. I like that. Anybody who knows me, yeah, I like Jeeps. I like that Jeep. And they've got a little helicopter out here. What do we got here? This light observation. Kiowa. So yeah, Kiowa helicopter. And over here, Freebase, Florida. I think they mean, well, wait a minute, my bad. Firebase, Florida, not 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 Freebase. No, not Freebase. Freebase is wrong. Firebase, Florida. We're not freebasing. Okay. Hold on. Let's flip it around. They have a 105 millimeter howitzer right here in the front. Over here at Firebase, Florida, Travis. They have a, ooh, they got a little bunker in here too. Check it out. Yep, a little bit of water, step around that. Oh, there you go. Look at that. All right. Well, if you're in the area and it gets bad, come to Firebase, Florida. You might be able to get some protection here. They have a ammo carrier. You can drive that around. Got some mortar pits. Pop a couple mortars in there. Okay, everybody knows what that is. That's the workhorse of the military, especially up through Vietnam. The Huey. The Medevac Huey. Yeah. Oh, let's take a look inside. We can get a little peek inside here through the door. Oh yeah, man. Side load. All right. Moving on. What do we got over here? Another tracked vehicle. 40 millimeter M42 Duster. Twin anti-aircraft artillery. Yeah, alright, that's pretty neat. I like that too. Alright. Here's another one. Looks like your good old armored personnel carrier. And it's probably welded shut. Carrier, personnel, armored. M113. Yep. And another helicopter. The other one was a medevac. This is the helicopter utility UH-1 Huey. Just your generic workhorse. A lot of those in the Vietnam War. And then there's this guy over here. We all know what the Chinook is. That's a big helicopter. That's a very big helicopter. Last but not least, we have one more jet over here. Let's see what this one is. This is Corsair 2. A7 Corsair 2. Alright, so that's the outside part of Camp Blanding. And right across the street is the museum. So that's going to do it for Camp Blanding. I'm going to go get me some lunch, and we're going to wrap it up here. So, hey, if you made it this far to the end, how about a like and subscribe? I would appreciate it. Hopefully you got something out of Camp Blanding. Maybe if you're into World War II history, maybe you'll come down and visit Camp Blanding down in Florida. I didn't have any cash, but there is a thing on our website to send a donation. So I'll be sending a donation to them once I get back onto some Wi-Fi. So feel free. You can share, like, subscribe. Thanks. See you later.